If you followed this channel for some time, you've known that I've made a habit of calling out bad actors that advertise to Medicare beneficiaries around open enrollment time period. And the bad actors always typically come to light during this time of the year. October 15th through December 7th is when Medicare plans go through changes for the new year, and beneficiaries have a time window of about 7.5 weeks where they can make changes to their selected plans. But it's hard to know the good actors from the bad ones in terms of who has your best intentions at heart. Years ago, there were many celebrity-endorsed advertisements that would flood the airwaves during open enrollment, with faces such as Joe Namath, Jimmy J.J. Walker, and William Shatner gracing the airwaves, all really spouting the exact same teleprompter red lines about why you should call the 1-800 number and get all kinds of fantastic benefits that most people that called found out the hard way they could not get. It was classic bait and switch advertising that eventually Medicare stepped in and put a stop to. But now we're starting to see more celebrity-endorsed, dishonest, bad actors come into the space. And in this video, we're going to talk about it and how you, as a Medicare beneficiary, better watch out. Hi, I'm Christian Brindle. I run a company called Everything Senior Insurance, formerly known as Christian Brindle Insurance Services. And typically, most of the bad actors that come into our space are backed by private equity money. They prioritize profits over people, and that typically leads to problems, shortcuts, and sometimes dishonest advertising trying to take advantage of a Medicare beneficiary, which oftentimes ends up being a senior population. We've seen this in all different types of industries. We've seen this in gold. We've seen this in, infomercials, all different types of things. But it's really disgusting when it has to do with somebody's healthcare and their Medicare. That leads to this next company that I'm going to talk to you about that has made it their mission to put a blanket over what they really are and put forward a very dishonest form of messaging to Medicare beneficiaries this open enrollment period. And that's, of course, a company by the name of Chapter. Chapter is an insurance agency call center that sells Medicare products to the masses, okay? No different than any other call center, no different than any other insurance agency, but they refuse to acknowledge publicly that they are a licensed insurance agency that gets paid commissions for the sale of Medicare products. They also run advertisements criticizing your local, mom and pop broker that might live in your town who's helped Medicare beneficiaries for decades because they say that they're dishonest, et cetera, et cetera. But is there anything more dishonest when you're being advertised a message about them that isn't true? Like, for example, that they are indeed an insurance agency. They also like to portray themselves that they carry every option and every plan in the industry and in the country. But upon looking at their website, you might find, if you know anything about your local market, that most places are missing several different options when you're actually looking through the options. So is that dishonest, unethical stance for them to take? I would say, 12 years doing this, I've seen a lot of bad actors come and go, that is the case. But who is this organization, Chapter? Let's dig a little deeper. Chapter was co-founded by a few different people, but the one that's the most notable that you might recognize is actually presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. And they have been funded by lots of investor and private equity money to kind of fuel them to be able to take the same path that a lot of massively publicly traded call centers, not that they're publicly traded, but they probably will soon become, had gone, right? These publicly traded call centers, some of which have been, really beaten down on their stock prices over the years because it didn't take long for people to be able to find out what they were really all about. Now, I called this out on my channel. I think myself and other people that were willing to call this out were partially responsible for people seeing the light. And you can put a lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig, and people can still see it as such. So Chapter also, if we go on this screen right here, raised about $75 million in investor funds actually this year in 2025. So this is not some little company like they like to portray themselves to be that is in it to help Medicare beneficiaries. Do not be fooled. They are an insurance agency. It gets paid commissions from insurance companies to offer you products, no different from any insurance agency, no different from any insurance agent. But their messaging that they've done this open enrollment period has been a little peculiar because they are trying to position themselves as the moral authority and putting down your local agents in your community by saying that they're greedy, that they only recommend plans that's best for them. But Chapter is an organization that has the exact same insurance contracts that most of your local insurance agents have, and they get paid commissions as well. No differently than your local, in your town insurance agent, which is a very dishonest type of form of marketing. I've always said that if someone is willing to lie to you to get your business, what are they willing to do once they have your business? It's unethical marketing, and it's actually been really disgusting, some of the celebrity endorsements they've paid to get during this open enrollment period, including Piers Morgan, Dave Ramsey, and Dr. Phil. We're going to go through all three of these in this video right now. Let's start with Dr. Phil. So this is a paid endorsement. As you can see on Dr. Phil's page here on my screen, it says paid partnership with Chapter. And you can tell that Dr. Phil is reading off a teleprompter. He does not know what he's saying, what he's recommending. And that's really disgusting to me, right? It's selling out your audience, if you're Dr. Phil, to the highest bidder. In this case, it is Chapter. Let's listen to this advertisement.
If you're 64 or older, this is important. Ever tried to pick a Medicare plan and felt like you were nailing Jell-O to a tree? Or visited the Medicare website and found it about as useful as a steering wheel on a mule? Yep, we've all been there.
Lifeless, right? He's clearly reading off a teleprompter and has no idea what he's recommending or what he's saying. Let's continue.
Care is confusing, and many of those helpful brokers only recommend plans that pay them the most. That's why you have got to talk to my partners at Chapter,
which is also a licensed insurance agency, aka a broker. This whole thing is so dishonest and disingenuous, it makes me sick.
They're the only advisors that compare every Medicare plan nationwide to find out what's actually best for you. They save the average senior $1,100 a year. They'll even help if you're hit with wrongful medical bills. That's the kind of help that puts gas in your tank. The best part? Their service is free. They can review your options in under 20 minutes. So if you're on Medicare or going to be soon, click the link below to get in touch and feel confident in your Medicare coverage.
As I've said, right, shame on Dr. Phil for selling out his audience. Everything about this video is just so wrong and blatantly wrong, right? Any good insurance agent or agency will help you with claims and customer service year-round. My company doesn't. We do a great job. We have a perfect 5-star review anywhere you can look at reviews. And we do it for no cost. We do it for free. So positioning themselves as anything other than just a big call center. If you've ever worked with a big call center before, it's not a good experience. It's not like working with an actual insurance agency that has that mom and pop feel, that's not backed by private equity and doesn't have investors to please, okay? So that's Dr. Phil. Let's talk about Piers Morgan now, okay? So on Piers Morgan, his web show, Uncensored, this is his ad that is almost exactly the same as Dr. Phil's that he was paid to promote by Chapter. Let's watch.
It's Medicare annual enrollment, and people aged 64 and above should prepare to be bombarded with hundreds of phone calls and texts from agents for simply pushing the Medicare plans which pay them the most. This is one message you won't want to skip. Most Medicare plans change every year, and many just disappear. Even if you like your current Medicare plan, it's critical to look at the 2026 plans or you risk losing the coverage you need. That's why you need to know about Chapter. They're independent, they don't work for the government or big insurance, and unlike others, they compare every plan nationwide. Year after year, millions of Americans end up stuck on the wrong Medicare plan for their needs, which means they're overpaying or undercovered. Chapter can review your options in less than 20 minutes. If you're on the right plan, they'll tell you. If you're not, they will help you switch. By doing this, Chapter has helped people to save an average of $1,100 a year. Click the link below to talk to Chapter and take back control of your healthcare. Call Chapter today at 910-708-7584.
Same exact ad, reading off a teleprompter, and he's doing so to be paid a lot of money. Shame on Piers Morgan, selling out his Medicare beneficiary audience, okay? And then if you go on Dave Ramsey's website, he is being paid as well to promote Chapter. You can see it on his website, right? Dave Ramsey has gotten himself into a lot of hot water over the years by offering recommendations to his audience that trusts him mightily on recommendations and advice, and recommending organizations that for all different types of things, financial planning, life insurance, all different types of things, and not vetting them properly and only recommending them because they're the highest bidder that are willing to pay him the most, okay? So these are people that don't care about what's best for you. They care about who's willing to pay them the most through private equity money, okay? $75 million raised this year from investors, and the investors want to see a return, and they're after your Medicare plan this open enrollment period, okay? Now, if we go over to Chapter's website, we can see more signs of dishonesty. While they never come out and outright say they are not an insurance agency, by putting down agents, agencies, and brokers, they kind of make it seem like in their advertisements and messaging that they're not such, even though that they are. This is actually a disclaimer on their website that finally, in the fine print, admits what they are. Chapter is a privately owned data and technology-enabled advisory that helps older Americans navigate retirement. Insurance agency services are provided by Chapter, okay? A licensed health insurance agency and wholly owned subsidiary of Memoir, okay? So right there, there's the proof in the pudding that they are, in fact, an insurance agency. And when they say that they carry every single plan that you can look at, it says actually in their disclaimer that they do not. Medicare actually requires anybody that does not carry every single plan in America, which no insurance agency does. A lot of them will just be able to provide the vast majority of plans. We're like that as well. But they say right here, while we have a database of every Medicare plan nationwide and can help you search among all plans, we have contracts with many plans, but not all plans. As a result, we do not offer every Medicare plan available in your area. Okay. Dishonest advertising, right? Now, if we actually go through their website and the actual questionnaire here, you can do explore on your own. It does not give you any information. It is simply trying to gather your information, your contact information, so that their agents can call you and pester you, no different from any other call center that you've seen in the past, right? Again, a pig with lipstick on it is what this company is. So let's just say I have Medicare. Do I need prescription coverage? Yes. Do I want hearing benefits? Yes. Do I want vision benefits? Yes. Do I want dental benefits? Yes. What's my date of birth? Let's say January 1st, 1960. Let's put my home zip code for my office here in Utah. What is my name? Let's say Tom Brady. And what is my phone number? I will not put in a real phone number. And as you can see right here, there's a disclaimer. By submitting my phone number above, I provide my express written consent to receive marketing and non-marketing calls and text messages on behalf of Chapter and its insurance agents, okay? I've provided regarding Medicare plans. This is a solicitation for insurance right there, okay? And as you can see, I hit continue. It does not provide me anything. Somebody will call me and bother me just like any other call center, okay? Please, I beg you, folks, do not fall for these celebrity-endorsed shysters this open enrollment period. Work with a local broker. You can also work with Everything Senior Insurance. We have a proven track record. We are not a flash in the pan backed by private equity like Chapter is. We have been around for 12 years, have a great track record, and thousands of satisfied customers. Give us a call today during open enrollment for your Medicare needs. If you're considering Chapter, we hope you consider us instead, as we are more of honest and good actors and good faith actors throughout your guide with Medicare. Our office number is 801-255-5340. Again, 801-255-5340. We've seen these celebrity-endorsed companies before, and they never end up working well. People have horror stories. This is going to be no different, in my opinion. If you found this video helpful, insightful, brought this information to the forefront, do us a favor, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It's going to help more Medicare beneficiaries who need to hear this information, and we don't want them to fall into a trap. It'll help them find this video better if you engage with the video. Comment your thoughts down below. Do you find this despicable? What do you think about this? We'd love to hear your dialogue about it. Make sure to subscribe. We put out weekly videos to help you see through the weeds on some of these deceptive marketing tactics during open enrollment. And without further ado, we'll see you on the next one, everybody. Happy Medicaring, and we'll see you at the end of open enrollment. Thanks, everybody.